Hi, Stephen. Um, Today on our PSSA seventh grade tutoring look, we're going to look at a different passage, and I wanted to go over and talk about the reading of that passage. Once you've finished up reading one passage and answer questions, they're going to give you another passage. Sometimes these passages are shorter, but sometimes they're longer. So, yeah. So when we get a chance to look at the different types of passages, if you remember the first passage that we had way back at the beginning was something about a farm that ran away and came back. It was about farming in the Netherlands. This is, and I'm taking all this from the 2021 sampler, so it's as current and as updated as we can get it of what the test is going to look like. So here we are listening to about a farmer in the Netherlands, and then we are jumped into a second passage, and this one is called Sowing Community. So, sewing community is still farming. So, what you notice is in the two passages that they're somewhat related. So, you are not going to be so far off with switching into a total different topic. So, this is more like a story. So, it starts out with a lot has changed in the 10 weeks since the Shoher family allowed a crew to tear up their entire front lawn in Woodbury and place it with edible plants. So instead of a flat expanse of turf grass, like you would mow with a lawnmower, the family's front yard is now mounded thick with growing cabbages, tomatoes, salad greens, peppers, herbs, and fruit. Over about 100 crops in all, and if you include different colors, said John Shower. My favorite thing is the purple cauliflower, said his wife, Catherine. And we knew it was cauliflower, and we didn't know it was purple, and we don't know all the plants, and we're waiting for them to reveal themselves. A lot of mystery edibles have sprouted in the Schoherer's yard since the crew, led by California artist Fritz Hogg, transformed it into something called the Edible Estate Number 15. Now, let's keep in mind what we're talking about here. We're in Pennsylvania, and this isn't something that can work real good here. So it says by California artists. So I'm assuming now that this family lives in California. And as I continue through the article, I keep reading. It says the garden is part of Haig's residency at the Walker Art Center, which is kicking off a related exhibit, including the premiere of a video about the Shoher's landscape makeover. So it sounds like they do that makeover thing that they put on TV. I don't know, that sometimes on the DIY channels. And it says Haig's worldwide project involves creating prototype gardens that put visible food production in residential communities to shift perceptions about what constitutes an attractive or an acceptable front yard. So while traditional suburban lawns hog resources while contributing little, edible landscapes not only produce food and also promote human interaction, according to Haig. Both food and connections appear to be flourishing near the shores, and when the family is truly stumped about something that's growing in their front yard, they ask Anna Burbauer, who's the local landscape architect, who's serving as their coach during the growing season. Now, one of the things that's interesting to me about this is that would refer to the garden that's part of the front yard, and they wouldn't be mowing the grass because there wouldn't be grass to mow, so it wouldn't be wasteful in that regard. So that's another thing that should start to be popping up in your mind as you're listening. For now, they're busy making salads and pestos, and John has experimented with juicing, and they're tossing salads, many, many salads, and we're eating a lot more lettuce, said Catherine, plus giving away bag after bag to friends and acquaintances. But still, the greens keep coming, and I don't want another salad for a while, she admitted. Well, in California, their growing season is very wonderful. It wouldn't be coming and coming here in Pennsylvania. So, all right. So, what we see is we have like a conversation going back and forth between the architect, the family, some guidance from some people that help with the guidance on the garden itself, and neighbors that get to share in the products, and the family that gets to benefit from the growing. All right. So, they give you this next passage, and then they ask you, you need to write about this. So, the passage sewing community focuses on a family's participation in an art project, and your job is to write an essay analyzing the effect that the edible landscape project has had on the community, using evidence from the passage to support your response. Well, so far, what we know is that people are eating a lot of salads. They're probably eating healthier. The other thing that we notice, and that I have already said, is that the environment isn't being wasted by a lawnmower. So little things should pop up in your mind as you're reading this before you decide to start writing. So next week, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go over what we call text dependent analysis prompts, how we set up to be able to write enough information to get a good score, and how we might pull text evidence from the piece that helps us write a good passage. So I will probably do a sample, and I'll do a sample note, and I'll show you what that looks like with this particular one that we have on the PSSA 7th grade sampler, and that will give us a good idea of what the TDA looks like and what we need to put into it to get a high score. And if you notice, what they give you on the text booklet is, if you're taking it on the computer, you'll have to type it in. But if you are taking it on a booklet style, they give you paper to write, and you have to write as many pages as you can. But the highest scoring ones are generally 2.5 pages long, and they tell you, where their limit is and how much they're going to read. Okay, alrighty. Yes, what we'll do is we'll look at that next week, and I'll do a sample outline, and then we'll see if we can try to write about this particular prompt and try to give what type of information will we put. And probably what I'll do is I'll just have you practice, just look at my outline and see what type of information I might talk about and what type of quotes I might pick from this passage, because that's what I have to do, pick text dependent pieces out of that to support what I want to say. All right. Well, good luck with that. And next week, we'll talk some more about um, the TDA and how to organize it and how to get your ideas going so that you can actually write a good text dependent analysis when it comes time. Good luck.